Hi everyone! Last time I achieved 99 range and got myself a tier 90 bow. While that is good progress, I was still missing a lot of skill levels, and I wanted one of my main goals for this video is to be able to take on Vorkath for the Draclich armor set. Let's get right into this. First, I went for 85 dungeoneering to relive my younger days where I farmed frost dragons with ranged. What I want is to get my prayer to level 92 so I can unlock Soul Split. What I would do is fill my inventory full of bones and then go back to the bank and run back, rinse and repeat. Each of these frost dragon bones gave me 5,000 experience. In about an hour, I got about 276 frost dragon bones, which caused my prayer to go from level 63 to 78. This allowed me to unlock cleansing crystals at the elf city to gain some AFK prayer experience, though it is still quite expensive, but it's a sacrifice I must make. Afterwards, I spent a lot of time complaining about training my least favorite skill, smithing, to unlock Invention so that I have access to perks once I unlock it. In the process, I also completed a lot of smaller tasks related to mining and smithing that I completely neglected to a point where I lost track of how much tasks I've done. Before I completed my goals, I did a bunch of random tasks that I forgot to hit the record button for. Regardless, I reached tier 6 and got the Invention relic first for a good reason. I decided to complete the World Wakes quest. The amount of experience I would gain from it is huge, especially for prayer. I needed to do it anyway to unlock their swiftness regardless. After pissing off all those disgusting Zamrokians, Bandles followers, and Saradomin followers, and witnessing one of the most eventful quests, I was finally able to unlock Invention, along with obtaining 94 prayer and 85 slayer in the process. For the remaining lamps, I am debating saving them for Herblore and Magic. And with that out of the way, it's time to do the Invention tutorial and start leveling up my Invention. That was the easiest 120 ever. I know I shouldn't complain, but unlocking the blueprints was just a very boring, tedious task. Even with Invention unlocked, there isn't much I can do with it at the moment, so it's time to go to Godward's dungeon to have training lessons with Kree'ara to earn that Armadyl armor, while the other 3 disgusting gods are killing each other. But let me tell you, Kree'ara's training lessons were extremely harsh. I was able to obtain 4 pieces of Armadyl armor in the first 50 kills, but Kree'ara was not impressed enough by my skills that he refuses to reward me with the Armadyl chain skirt. I just kept getting duplicate after duplicate after duplicate. 250 training sessions with Kree'ara, and Kree'ara still thinks the fool is not worthy for the chain skirt. At least I was still getting some Slayer experience because I had the Avency Slayer task, but I'm getting so frustrated. Eventually I gave up, took some breaks to train other skills and complete other tasks, from farming Slayer to get seeds, to using those seeds for farming to get herbs for Herblore. Then I went back to train more with Kree'ara. At this point, Kree'ara rewarded me with everything but the pet and chain skirt. After many brutal, harsh training lessons with Kree'ara, I finally been rewarded with the chain skirt. I was rewarded the first 4 armor pieces in less than 50 training lessons with Kree'ara, and then it took another 300 to get my first chain skirt. How could you do this to me? I'm a very devoted follower of Armadyl. Got 85 Herbler with all those crushed nests, did the golem quest and started plucking these feathers. Now I have super antifires to protect from dragonfire. I am one step closer to being able to take on Vorkath. A clanmate suggested I should get a 1 book first, which I tried by doing 5 mechanic archglaker, but let's just say I got angry about drop rates and gave up. I also just so happened to have a Node on Dragon Slayer task. Along with getting 99 Slayer, I can finally produce Jazz Dragonbane arrows in preparation for Vorkath. These arrows will give me 30% damage against dragons, and that includes Vorkath. I realized I wanted to start going for tier 7 as soon as possible, so I started doing many different tasks. Thanks to the tier 6 invention perk, I was able to get 800 points easily from throwing away 200 mil GP, got that 99 fire making from propellants, opened some crystal keys from Vorkath Kills, now have a source of papayas for future adrenaline potions. Then I went to slay some very familiar slayer creatures that I either hate or love. Now, I've done a video on how I kill mammoths with ranged, but surely somebody who witnessed this in the wilderness is probably very confused with what they're seeing. And I did a bunch of other tasks, but I'll just show you them since there's a lot. And then finally unlocked tier 7 relic, and I was very conflicted between choosing prayer relic or the specialist relic. After sulking about drop rates in leagues, I decided to go with specialist because I just don't want to learn and do telos, one less boss to worry about. During the journey to tier 7, I also bought anima crystals from the traveling merchant because apparently you need reputation to unlock important components even with the invention perk from tier 6. This kinda rubbed me the wrong way, but it is what it is. I went to piss off some Saradomin follower to get my Salve Amulet by doing the Haunted Mine quest, followed by the mini quest. This Salve Amulet provides an additional 20% damage against undead creatures, and that includes Vorkath. It stacks with Jazz Dragonbane. Although it is not a task, I still went and did Shattered Worlds to unlock my Greater Dazing Shot along with Salt the Wound so that I do more damage. Picking Saren Gabo as my EOF and making Luck of the Doors, it's time to do some Archglaker and hopefully get my 1 book. And then I finally get it on my first kill with Luck of the Dwarfs, which I was very happy to see. Spent some time in God Wars Dungeon 2 to unlock Siren components for a planted feet switch, which boosts my death swiftness for another 7 seconds. I did a few more quests that involves dealing with Saradomin fanatics, but mainly to unlock Devotion, and then the Dig Site quest to unlock Tendrils. Earlier, I did some Gate of Elendinus to get supplies to make adrenaline potions, as well as doing a quest called As a First Resort, but we don't talk about that quest. It is now my least favorite quest. In between, I also went to get Bone Shield because I realized how much quality of life that is. It has made me appreciate a lot of quality of life updates that reduces switchscape. With all preparations made, it's time to do normal mode Vorkath, but first, let's recap what I've done to prepare. Super Antifire for Vorkath's Dragon Breath, Jazz Dragonbane arrows for 30% damage against dragons, the Salve Amulet for 20% damage against undead, replenishment potions as a way to gain 25% adrenaline by drinking it, Saren Godbow in my Essence of Finality which does a lot of damage against 5x5 targets, Bone shields so I can use defenses without needing to switch to a shield bow. Useful abilities like Death Swiftness and Devotion. A planted V switch for an additional 7 seconds on my Death Swiftness. This wasn't recorded, but I also unlocked the Spirit Unicorn Familiar, which will heal me for 10% of my life points when I use the scrolls. Undead Slayer perk for an additional 7% damage. Genocider with a Blue Dragon Slayer task to also gain Slayer experience. For those of you that are familiar with my content, you would know I know this boss to the core and is one of my favorite bosses. But how would it go when I'm severely undergeared? I'll just play the entire kill with subtitle commentary so you can enjoy the raw footage.
Rise, my loyal ones. Destroy this rat hole. Yes! All lesser beings shall quiver under my wrath! You dare interrupt me? This fort shall be leveled! Make ready to bid this squalid hovel farewell. My writhing flames shall engulf the rest of your measly dwelling. Rise, my flying fury, and slay them all! I shall rend the very flesh from your bones. Cut them down without mercy! Get up! Why must you test my patience? Run, you loathsome iniquity! Your life is payment for this folly!
I decided to go for as many kills as I can before opening. However, after about 50 kills, I started suffering from a lack of essence for Bone Shield. Since I despise runecrafting, I really had trouble upkeeping them. All that pure essence from the abyss, yeah, they're gone now, so I had to take some detours to mine some pure essence before I can continue. After a while, I decided to open the boxes right now just to see what happens. So let's see how much spikes I can get. I need 99 to complete a full set. 49 spikes. Watching back the footage, it looked like I didn't get any spikes for a good 30 loot boxes. The foes unlock strikes again. I was still able to obtain a 3-set Draglich armor now. The chest piece and leggings are still undead Dragonhide, so I need to keep grinding Vorkath. Regardless, I do not mind grinding Vorkath at all. I am getting Slayer experience too because I have a blue Dragon Slayer task, so I'm on the way to 200 mil ranged and 120 Slayer. Until then, time to AFK Arc to unlock Ancient Invention while editing this video. And perhaps next time, it's time for me to join other adventurers to speed up some of the progression and stop soloing content. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.